What's going on, everybody? T4 here. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Mario Paint. In the last episode, I can't quite tell you what happened in the last episode, but I can definitely tell you this, that in this episode, I did a recreation of a very old meme posted many eons ago. Ooh, look at all that sparkling magic we got over here. Now, maybe you're wondering, how I got this process done and all that jazz. Well, like from, excuse me, like from before, I should probably put the music back on, actually. There we go. Now, of course, what I did was that I used this little tool by utilizing the stamp feature, or the stamp tool, and I just did a little doodles around the figure and whatnot. Basically, I just drew the character, and I drew the background as well, and added some parts with the face spray tool. Really nothing more to it than that. The most I really wish I could have done was just do the composition for the music a lot better. I didn't have enough time, for the next upload. And basically, this is the composition I did for the music, of course. Excuse me. It may be a little rushed. I couldn't find any other decent rendition of Mario Paint's cover of What's Up by Four Non Blondes. I believe that's what they're called. But if you ever get a chance to listen to it on YouTube, they're great to listen to. But basically what I did here was that I added some, what do you call these notes? Drums and snares for the Game Boy synthesizer sound effects, and I added some guitar notes like it was kind of like from the original song, and each of the Game Boy notes are kind of like voice bits from the original. The reason why I extended it, of course, was because they don't sorry if I'm clearing my throat, I just got done with dinner. It's just so that I could extend the note, because it doesn't let you do a whole note, so I had to do this number, just so I could hold in the note a lot longer. It may look a little sloppy. I'm not a music composer. I've always been in chorus, for about 4 years. Took a music course, but I never composed an actual musical score in my life, for the life of me. I always try to do a recreation of it by looking at musical notes and try to recreate them as best as I can through a short period of time. But and this is kind of how it plays at this setting of the tempo. I wonder what it sounds like without the babies. Oh, gee. Get rid of these. They're driving me crazy. It sounds slightly better, but I could do a lot more work, but I'm not that worried about it, to be honest. Again, I'm sorry if I'm rambling around back and forth and all that yada yada stuff. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the He-Man thing. If you are too young to understand what the heck this is, just look up He-Man Heya on YouTube, and pretty much it's told all by itself. It's a story in and of itself. Very old meme. It's funny even still after all these years. Check it out. But what could I do here? Do a little more coffee break after all that long work. Excuse me. Yeah, take that, you little flies. There may be another game that I may cover in the future too for the channel, which actually utilizes the Super Nintendo mouse. The title, I believe it's called Mario and Wario. The only problem is that it only came out in Japan. That's it. I can't fully recall it was fully localized, or no, not localized, but wow, I'm sorry, I am just not in a commentary. Ow, you motherfuckers. Oh, get away. Oh, jeez. What was I? Oh, yeah. So, Mario and Wario was a game in which it utilized the Super Nintendo mouse. But it never came out here for unknown reasons. I think part of it is because the Super Nintendo mouse never really sold all that well, and not a lot of developers wanted to utilize it. And I think that they didn't want to. I think Nintendo America didn't really want to localize it, so they said, "Nah, we don't really want it over here." So Japan was practically stuck with that game. Yeah, because that makes total sense. We have a paint animation music tool for the Super Nintendo, but a game featuring Mario and Wario in which you had to guide Mario and Luigi. No. You had to guide Mario, who was stuck with a bucket in his head. He's blind practically, and you have to guide him by utilizing the Super Nintendo mouse by creating all these blocks and disappearing blocks and etc. There's not that much I remember about the game other than that it was only released over in Japan. I know it sounds a little redundant, but I want to try to get the game and try to blind for the channel in the future. Get that. If I recall correctly too, this game that we're playing right now was later utilized. I think it's later used in Super Mario Maker. There's a little cheat that you gotta do in order to unlock it, and I think it's only for one level. That's it. So this level that we're playing right now, it's not in Mario Maker. I got something stuck in my nose, and it's kind of ticking me off. Now, something I forgot to comment is that when you're on the ice terrain of this level, you move a lot faster, but it makes it a lot harder to catch all the insects. I might have covered it earlier, but I don't fully remember covering it at all. So I figured I'd bring it up. Go. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus! I'm getting killed over here. Holy. Shoot. What could I talk about? Oh, a golden bike bar. This is tempting. Oh, shit! Ah! So, I actually have been looking into reproduction carts. For those who are not super familiar with them, especially the young demographic out there, what they are is that they are self-produced game cartridges to which it has a copied ROM, which it's embedded into the board of the game cartridge. And oh my, I am doing terrible at this. I gotta avoid those bastards so bad. Oh shit. This is why I do post commentary. What? Nothing touched me. I think it was the thruster. And that did not touch me. What the hell? Oh my gosh. I am not good at this game. And And I think I forgot to recall. If you want to restart, you have to right click and you have to hit continue or exit. Whatever it is you want to do. What was I gonna talk about? I talked about Mario and Wario. Oh, game reproduction cards. I may have to get a reproduction card of it because the original game, of course, has hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Neither of those that I'm not able to read. I can read a little bit of katakana more because katakana is mainly used to pronounce specific foreign words. That mainly English, to be exact. And oh my god, I am doing way much worse than I need to. Oh, get away! Oh, get away! But yeah, there's a lot of reproduction cards that I wanted to try out to purchase on the website called Etsy. There's one game I do want to buy called Monster World 4, I believe. It's a simple action RPG kind of game, and I played it, on my Nintendo Wii through other means, and it's a fun game. I'd like to play it for the channel eventually. Don't know how the others would feel about it, but hey, nothing to it. And there's one I really want to try. There's one for Sonic 3 Complete. I'm really tempted to, but I already have a ROM for it already. But it'd be so awesome to put it for my Sega Genesis collection. Which, just to bring it up too, I actually bought myself a Sega Genesis. First model too, and it even has the text that reads high definition graphics. But here's the weird part. It's alleged that in my unit number, for the model, son of a bitch. Oh shit. I am doing terrible right now. Charlie Brown, shut up. There we go. Now, here's the weird thing that I remember. Can I pause real quick? Thank you, Mario. Okay. Here's what I did remember, actually. I remember that when I got the model, it was about $28. It's the very model where you have a volume slider, reset, on and off power. And oddly enough, it's one of those models too where it has a longer FCC code, and it has that weird expansion port on the very back of the console, to which it was never used in North America or Europe, but it was used in Japan for, I'm guessing, for a modem to which you play online, at least at the time. And I got all of that, but the weird part is that there's two models that's exactly like that with one major difference. The one I have has something to which there's the one I have allegedly has no security check. And the security check is where whenever you turn the game console on, you have a little text that reads, "This is producer licensed by Sega." If you have that, you basically have a unit that has a security check. The thing is, I have everything in which it indicates that it's not a security check console. And it was still able to display that text. And the reason why they have that on there is because at the time, some companies were producing unlicensed titles for the console, and Sega wasn't really having that, so they made this little security check embedded into the motherboard where they checked to see if it was licensed or not. If it wasn't, it couldn't run at all, unless you had a Game Genie, in which it was able to bypass that. But that's really all I know about it. I just wanted to point out that the unit I have has every criteria to which it has no security check, and yet it still has, you know, the licensed or produced by Sega, you know, screen on there. And if it never popped that off, that indicates you're able to run almost practically every Sega game ever, including the unlicensed titles. But some people may be wondering, well, why would you want to play those unlicensed games if they're, let alone if they're bad? Hey, you just want to get the best of the best, you know? And not to mention, it actually is one of those units, too, where it has the best sound quality. Because I learned that the first model outputs better sound than all the Sega Genesis models, even the second model, to which all that is muffled up into stereo, but the sound chip is still muffled because they use a different, you know, sound chip. To which I could go all about it in like a video that I could be producing on my channel eventually. But yeah, let's get back to the Mario Paint. I'm sorry. So we're at level 2, of course. Something I wanted to bring up. But yeah, those Game Repro cards, I may plan to get them in the future. Not because, I just want to get all these games that I never, you know, able to play, you know, that's from Japan. But also for cost purposes only, too. Wow, I am not doing great at all. This is taking me off more than it should. No. What time are we at? 15 minutes? I'll do one more. Just one more. And I gotta get back into doing a little more doodles. Now, whenever I do Mario and Wario, I may have to play it on the real Super Nintendo and be able to use the actual Super Nintendo mouse. I still have it, including the board, which is partially cracked. So I actually have to play it on a freaking table, which will make it a little not awkward, because I'm used to doing it on my lap, never on a table. But no biggie. I actually modded my Super Nintendo too, which I'm able to run Japanese games on there. You know, if I ever wanted to. I have one Super Famicom game, which is Mother 2. A game in which I can't read exactly what it says on the screen. I'm familiar with what you're supposed to do in the game, but I can't read everything because I can't read Japanese. I'm planning to get a Japanese language book so that I can be able to understand, you know, how to read it. I mean, considering I just graduated not too long ago, I still want to try to learn stuff, you know. But one of the holy grails that I do want to get, you know, in my collection is Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo. Everybody heard the story already. I thought my game kind of crashed for a moment. But, legend has it is that Nintendo was planning to release Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo. They never did because of Nintendo 64, long story short. And the game was only released for the Super Nintendo Classic back in 2007. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my god, I forgot about the thrusters. There we go. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Alright, or I modded my Super Nintendo just so that I could run Super Famicom games on there. And I have Mother too. I like to get more Japanese Super Nintendo games in my collection though. It'd be really nice. It was originally the only way that I was able to play, you know, Mario and Wario authentically, rather than just getting game reproduction. But once I heard about game reproduction, I thought, well, hey, wait a minute, I could just play the game in English, no problem. I didn't really need to mod my console, but I don't mind it really. It's not like I'm gonna resell the console or anything, right? It does need to be cleaned out though, because it's pretty dirty. It's got that yellow grime on the surface. Oh my god. I am not gonna make it. I am not gonna make it. Oh my god, what can I talk about at this time of there? What can I do for a climb like for? I could say another unpopular opinion right now too. A buddy of mine and I went to the Disney World parks down in Orlando, Florida. Also, hi to any Floridians on YouTube. Just letting you know I visited your state. But shit! You're pissing me off, Smalls. You're killing me. Oh my, no. I'm dead. I am dead. Oh, maybe not. Shit. I may have to... Fuck! No, I don't want to fuck. I can say that much right now. Jesus Christ. Okay, But, to state my own unpopular opinion, in regards to the Disney parks, I'm honestly not a fan of Animal Kingdom. It would have been like my second time there. I once went there at the age of 10. I had the worst experience at all of the Disney parks. It was hot, it was humid. We had a lot more downs than we did with the ups. All it was a bunch of animal expeditions, and oh my god, even as a kid, I thought it was so boring. And it was the last thing we did too, before we left, you know, back to my home state. I just did not like Animal Kingdom at all when I was a kid. And whenever I go to the Disney parks, it would be that one park that I always avoid at all times. It wasn't until that I visited there with a buddy of mine about a week ago, actually, and it's my thoughts on it. Well, not as negative as it once was. It's still, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate getting all those bugs, sticky bugs. I mean the bugs. But yeah, I went to the Animal Kingdom where it has this Pandora attraction going on. We were at a 2-hour long ride for a dark ride for a movie I didn't really care for. It wasn't exactly worth the wait. It was nice to look at, but I wasn't a fan of waiting for a long time. It was like 2.5 hours of waiting. The other one, it was just, I think the other one, I don't know the name of it. It was like Flight of the Avatar or whatever. It was like 4 hours. I wasn't gonna wait for like 4 hours for that. I was like, forget about it. And I looked it up and it wasn't, it was exactly what I thought it was. It's gonna be like one of those little simulators to where you're flying with them and etc. Wasn't gonna sit through 4 hours of that. The only things I kind of liked from the Animal Kingdom was Dinosaur was okay. Expedition Everest was probably the only redeeming quality about it. Seeing the animals wasn't bad, but I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Tree of Light. Not the Tree of Light, but the Rivers of Light. It's like one of those night attractions they do every night where they would just show some light displays. They have no fireworks, for obvious reasons. They don't want to disturb the animals, which I can understand, but it's just not for me. And I honestly seen better, even for Disney standards. I thought they could do a whole lot more. It has a potential to be a decent light show. It just seemed a lot underwhelming compared to all the other light shows that I did see, or that I have seen per se. And I'm actually doing a little better now that I'm talking crap about the Animal Kingdom. Ah, no! I think they caught on to me. The park I really like going to a lot, though, was Epcot. I was a huge fan of Epcot, and I still like to go to it, especially for the World Pavilion. It's still awesome to go to this day. I always die at this boss. Always. Always died the boss. Alright, I'm sorry I didn't really talk about all much in regards to the game. It was just me rambling about other stuff like, my thoughts on Animal Kingdom. Long story short with that one, I'm not the biggest fan of it. If you all are, good for you. It's just, I hear so many popular opinions of that park, and I go to it again. I'm like, I'm not really a big fan of this park. It's like, I get the intent, and good on them. It's just not for me. I thought that I could probably get a better experience, elsewhere. I'd probably, go in another day of Epcot or MGM Studios. Yeah, I still call it MGM Studios, damn it. I don't call it, Hollywood Studios. What's that shit about, right? I get the reason why they changed the name, though. But, yeah. So, here's what I can try to do. I'll try to showcase in how you're supposed to utilize editing back in the year of 1992. It's just going to take a little longer to process because there's a lot to do in terms of how you're supposed to do it. In terms of post-editing. And basically you had to use a lot of tools. Like, even a kid wasn't able to do it. Even if they're able to, it takes a lot of practice to do it. That much I can really say. But, yeah, hopefully, in the next episode, I'll be able to, sit down and talk about it. And if I don't get around it, then I'll find another subject to talk about from what I know about the game. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Toodles. Oh, wait, that's Clement's thing. Damn it!